All right, let's go, cows. Let's show them what we got.
Okay, Tom, looks like Americans are getting ready to play. I don't suppose they'll have any problems seeing the ball with their big American eyes. Yeah, good thing they had those big eyes so that they don't have to rely on that amazing American intellect. Oh, you said that stings. I just zinger.
Welcome back to South Park in the Dark, a podcast where me, Chase the Chaz Creepak, and my buddy Swag, the Swiggity Swa Swooster.
A little addition this time around.
Yeah, having a little fun. Are reviewing every single episode of South Park. Welcome back to the show. We got
Jay-Z, the Chaz. How are you?
I'm doing pretty good for the most part. Pretty good for the most part. Yeah. How are you?
Doing great.
Yeah. I just got yelled at by my son for about 2 hours, so I'm doing as well as a guy in those situations could. Yeah.
Been there?
Yeah?
No, not really. No, I've not been there, no.
Maybe like when your dog barks at you, it could be sort of similar. But imagine if she like nonstop barked like for hours and you couldn't stop it. And she'd stop for like a couple seconds every once in a while and you'd be like, are you done barking? And then it's right back to it.
Yeah, the thing is, I could just boop her on the snoot and she'll be like, oh, you don't like that. I should probably just stop doing what I'm doing. But you really can't do that with a child because they'll just scream more.
Nah, sometimes I just like poke them on the nose and that makes them smile. But that's fleeting.
Oh, that's adorable.
It's all fleeting. Every moment is fleeting. I was just saying to Miranda, I don't think he knows. He smiles a lot when he's asleep. And he's started to smile when he's awake. But I think when his conscious brain only knows anger and like sleepiness. Like those are the only, and hungry. And those are the only 3 emotions.
Wow, that really sounds familiar.
Shut up.
I wonder where he gets it from.
Now
Shall we dive into it?
We should dive into it. It's always lovely just chatting with you, but we got business to attend to. We had 2 episodes of South Park like we usually do, and I don't know how you thought of them, but I actually enjoyed both of these episodes quite a bit.
I really liked the first one. I was really not a fan of the second one.
Oh, wow. I would say if I had to pick one over the other, it is the first one.
Yeah, there's more depth to it.
Yeah. So, which that episode is season 2, episode 5, Conjoined Fetus Lady, first airing on June 3rd, 1998. I mean, with a title like Conjoined Fetus Lady, you know you're in for something good.
Something odd. And I really like how this whole episode started. Because it started with the boys playing dodgeball. And you kind of expect in the beginning that Pip's going to get fucked up, but he doesn't. He just gets angry, just like your child. So
for the first time ever.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
learned something about Pip, that he hates the French, but ultimately from this beginning, the plot diverges 2 directions.
Mm-hmm.
And so I do like how it starts at one place, and then, Kyle just gets fucking annihilated in the nose. Have you noticed that the dodgeballs make people bleed a lot during this episode? Like, they're deadly.
Kenny literally gets killed by one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoilers. Yeah, it's bad.
I like that though. I like that because like when I was working in schools, like the dodgeballs we could use were like foam, but like the dodgeballs I played with as a kid were like rubber, and they fucking hurt when people got hit by those things. So I mean, it's fitting. It's very fitting.
Well, my part when we had dodgeball, we were the poor part. We used tennis balls on occasion.
Okay, so that's even harder and scarier.
Yes, that sucked more. One point, someone grabbed the golf ball, and we're like, we can't.
That's where you got to call it.
Yeah,
small rubber balls and rubber kickballs are pretty much those are the best ones in my opinion.
Those are dodgeballs.
Those are dodgeballs. I like the. Wait. Oh yeah, go ahead.
Oh, no. I want to hear your little tidbit.
Well, I just thought it was, I like that Chef's just laughing at the kids as they get hit.
Oh, yeah.
Like, because they talk like they've been playing it for like every week for however long. And you're like, oh, wow, I wonder why Chef's like doing this so much. And then he's just like, he's laughing at them getting hurt by the dodgeball. So it's kind of like for his entertainment.
And for Chef, who he is, for all the bullshit he's put up with, even just in the short, season and a half we've been through, this is who he gets back.
Yeah.
He's got to tell the kids that, what is the man just love the most in the world? And Cartman says ham. It's like, no, not ham. This is the moment where Chef gets what he deserves. Just the kids kicking their own asses. But Kyle is the nurse, and we come to the main plot of the show where the nurse has a conjoined fetus on her face.
It's certainly the title plot. I don't know. I'd call it even the side plot. You know, I don't know. It's hard to say.
It feels kind of weird because they just jump back and forth.
Yeah. A1, A2, or yeah. Yeah, she's got a fetus on her face. And I don't think there was any sign of her. I don't think she's shown up in the background of any episode so far. I don't know if she's in the theme song. I've honestly been skipping the theme song since we started.
I've been watching it occasionally to see if everything's changed. It's pretty consistent.
So she just comes out of nowhere with... I mean, she turns, boom, fetus on her face.
Yeah, and new character, just kind of odd by design. But we go further to Sheila Broflovsky hearing the boys talk shit on her, and Sheila has an episode.
Yes, she does. They really ham up, like, I feel like nowadays in South Park, Sheila, she might be a bitch, but she's like a likable bitch. But in this beginning, they really want us to hate her. Like, she just sucks.
South Park turned into the Randy show.
Yeah.
This is a little bit of the Sheila show.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's a lot of Sheila, and it's kind of even we get to the principal.
Yeah.
Just shits on. What are you pissed about? Pissed off about today?
Yeah. What seems to be pissing you off today? Like a very common thing. I did like. Did you catch the name of the book that she was reading when she was telling the kids about Siamese twins?
Yeah, Freaks A to Z. Yeah,
so
Sheila gets pissed off of the boys and wants to educate all four boys on the condition that the book is Freaks A to Z. It's just a bunch of abnormalities.
And it just shows like three like freaky looking humans on the cover. Very funny. As Sheila is the first fucking social justice warrior.
Yeah. Oh, and
from beyond
in the worst way. Yeah. Ultimately, this whole thing turns into Sheila and the town celebrating Mrs. Gollum or Miss Gollum.
Nurse Gollum.
Nurse Gollum. And she doesn't like it. So yeah, and then on the other side of things, the boys keep winning dodgeball games.
Yeah.
That's pretty much it.
It is, but it just goes along every time it cuts from plot A1 to plot A2. It's always funny. I think, in my opinion, every scene was funny. No matter what the punchline, no matter what the joke is. Even like, you have that scene with them being like, what seems to be pissing you off today? And then they plan the dinner, and then I think it's Mr. Mackey who's just like, do we have to eat kosher stuff?
Yeah.
Just like zingers throughout just little conversations. And then it goes to the dinner and everybody's just looking down at their plates while they're eating. Except Sheila, she's just staring at Nurse Gollum, smiling, but everybody else is very uncomfortable.
But then Gerald just dropped, can you pass the dead fetus?
Most definitely Gerald. Like, oh my God. He just keeps saying things. Oh my God. What does he say at one point? You're going to need the dead fetus to win. I mean.
Yeah.
And then it's just him and her at the end of the dinner, and he just does that like smile at her. So good. Like that whole that whole scene, laughed every time somebody said anything, really.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think all the bits with the nurse really got me.
And I mean, this is an episode, I know I try to not do this, but South Park is very deep, even early on. I feel like the message in this episode is a very deep one, which is like, we have all these things in place of like this person's special week or this type of person's special month. And really they're like, could you please not draw attention to it? And I just think it's South Park's kind of take on that. Like, by doing this, we are drawing attention to maybe something these people in particular don't want to have attention drawn to. But people like Sheila like to pat themselves on the back. Yeah,
it's just
not to get political.
So one, going off of that, there's one thing that really brought to mind was when I was doing ASL classes and learning a lot about deaf culture. There's one of the deaf movements. I think it was at Gallaudet University that they had like a hearing president, and everyone got pissed off. It's like, how can we have a hearing president at a deaf university? No. But one thing they mentioned was nothing about us without us. And I always like that phrase. Is this kind of one of those situations where you're talking about, like, she obviously doesn't care or need any of this.
No, doesn't want it, in fact.
Yeah. And she's like, and then she lets just jerk it away.
And they just keep doing stuff. I mean, in every one of the bits. How about this? We're going to go through everything with Nurse Gollum, and then we'll do everything with the boys.
Let's do that.
We'll do it like that, just to like go along, because I think this just plays so well. And then they do tie together at the end.
Yeah, so
so first they start by having the they announce the conjoined twin dyslexia week.
Mm-hmm.
Is it the first night that they do like the award show for her?
No, I don't. So
okay.
Yeah, I think the week is announced,
mm-hmm.
and then it turns into the parade.
Okay,
at least that's from the note I have.
It's the parade first.
They do the parade of everyone who suffers from conjoined fetus or whatever syndrome.
Yeah, conjoined twin dyslexia.
Yes, how dare I forgot that.
Yes, it has to do the parade, and it's just her. It's just her. Some music playing, and it's just real quick, and then it's over.
Yeah, one of the moments that got me. I just gave a good little chuckle at that. Really enjoyed that part.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm, mm-hmm.
And then they keep jerking themselves off. And we jump back to the dodgeball, but after the dodgeball thing, we get the pictures. It was the They Will Work banquet, and it was the pictures that Mr. Garrison took over,
like just that week or something, like when she was already over it. Yeah,
and the first few pictures are just hers angry.
I hadn't seen this episode in a really long time, so like I thought it was gonna show her through her life at first when the video started, but I laughed even more when it was just like, oh no, they might have just took all these pictures today.
Yeah. She's just like painting her house,
and that's where you slowly. I mean, you already can tell she doesn't like it. She has a good head on her shoulders, and I don't mean the fetus one. I mean hers, because like even when kids are making fun of her, she's like, "Hey, kids will make fun of." When they start doing it, the conjoined week, she doesn't want to be mean. She doesn't want to say, "Please don't do this." So she kind of puts up with it, and you start to see her cracking at the award show, because they're like, "Who wins the award?" And I think she even says, "Is Nurse Gollum?" And then it's like, it's Nurse Gollum.
Everyone's crying after the video.
Yeah.
Officer Marbrady is tearing up.
Yeah. Oh Jesus.
And then our final scene is the fetus hats.
Yes. Oh my God, the fucking hats. They are so. Oh my God, they just all wearing them. She comes out, she's like, "What the fuck are you all wearing on your face?"
Yeah,
just calls them out.
The fetus hats have their eyes open. Interesting.
What an
So yeah, before we, I know, right? But then we have the dodgeball team that they went to Denver. Why did they get to?
I think they just got invited to Denver, so they went to Denver.
Okay.
And that's when we start with the bit of like chefs getting yelled at by Mrs. Crabgrass.
Mm-hmm.
I like that they drive everywhere on the bus too. Like that was just a bit they kept getting. So yeah, once it got to China, it was like, oh my fucking God, this whole bus thing. So
right.
Good.
So they go to Denver because the coach wanted somebody from a podunk town.
Right. To just play them.
Where are you guys from? South Park. People will live anywhere these days.
Yeah.
There's shit's all over them.
Chef's so fucking bummed out, belittled a little. And the team has a Exodia basically with Pip, because they just shit on him and he becomes the best dodgeball player on the face of the earth.
Yeah,
I mean, he's just chucking these things, they're bouncing off the wall, taking kids out. Oh my God, there were so many damaged kids. I wish I would have wrote more notes on just like the way they were hurt.
Just blood.
Yeah, I even wrote blood everywhere on the dodgeball court. Cartman catches a ball with his fat at one point. It just sticks into him.
Yeah, and she's Cartman's number 325. He has 3 digits on his jersey.
You know what? I did not catch that. That's funny. Because he's fat.
With this Daninger thing, though, they showed the crowd, and no alien watch.
Okay.
But there's Butters Watch. Butters is on the team.
Butters is everywhere. Butters has been in almost every single episode.
Yeah, there's also 6 Butters in the stands.
Is there really?
Yeah, there's just 6 Butters.
Huh.
It's like a little Where's Waldo game.
I'll have to look back on that and check for that. I did not catch that at all.
Well, it just blinks by, but I was doing Alien Watch to see if I can find anything, and I just found
Butters.
6 Butters and possibly 1 Bebe.
6 Butters. Jeez, I wonder if back then they really had any plans for Butters, or if he was just a design.
Maybe, yeah, because he's on the team.
He doesn't speak. He screams in one of the season 1 episodes, and it's not his voice.
Right.
So, yeah. I'm really looking forward to when we meet Butters.
Mm-hmm. And as I watch South Park pretty much all day long while I'm at home here, God, I fucking love the Butters.
Butters is a fucking main character.
They did the vampire episode. Oh my God, that was a shit episode.
I mean, Butters is just as main as anyone else at this point. But right now, he's almost... It's hard to even call him a background character if they're putting 6 of them somewhere. Jesus.
Yeah. Same
he's just a figure to hold space. Man, did they put that to good use. But that's cool. Butters Watch. We'll have to keep an eye out for that as well.
Yeah, I'm going to be bad at Alien Watch. I'll be good at Butters Watch.
Hey, it's not your fault you're bad at Alien Watch.
It is pretty fucking hard. So they do win. They beat Denver because Pip is bullied. Mm-hmm. And they're going to DC.
Yeah.
And they win in DC.
And they win automatically in DC. They quit. Right. When I was watching it, I was like, what's the joke here? Why did DC just not play? And then they were like, oh yeah, the Chinese kids are fucking hardcore dodgeball players and people die playing against them. So they threw the match.
I think this is the first episode where we're seeing Chinese characters, correct? Most likely.
Probably. I'd have to recheck that out, but probably. And they're great. I mean, they are so everything. Just the intro of them teaching the kids how to play dodgeball like fucking little soldiers, but while also making the Chinese people like just like very just complete racist Chinese. Oh my God, so funny, so fucking funny. Only we meet them, and when they speak English, they talk like that. But they make fun of the Americans, and it's so funny. With their big old eyes. With their
roasting them the entire time.
Chinese people make fun of Americans' big eyes. And I just think, genius. That's another one of those genius jokes. Because, God damn.
Did you hear what Mrs. Cartman says is in China?
A lot of black people. I did. I wrote, my mom says there's a lot of black people in China. I wonder how long. Yeah, like definitely a callback to a lot of black people in Africa joke, but they went a little farther. Don't know what that's about.
Oh, it's just Chef is right there. He goes, "What?" Scene cuts.
Yeah.
But yeah, Austin only had 4 kids come back, so DC's like, we're not going to China, and the boys drive the bus to China.
They drive the bus to China.
And get their shit kicked in.
Pretty hard, yeah. They're getting fucked up. I mean, like we said, Kenny dies. Kenny takes a Chinese dodgeball and it just fucking mutilates him.
Destroyed.
Everybody else is also getting fucked up. We have our learn our moment because Chef... Oh my God. Actually, no. They convince what to say to Pip. They convince the Chinese kids to say some shit to him. He loses his shit. He starts fucking them up. And that's when during that Chef kind of comes to realize that it's not important if they win. Just as Pip fucks all of them up. And he's so pumped he won. And then Chef immediately, shut up, Pip.
Pip won on one throw.
He sure did.
It's just the greatest thing probably doing dodgeball, and then just comes up the court and everyone's shut up, Pip.
Finally doing something that people can like him for. You know what I mean? He's no longer the hated kid. Boom, immediately back to hated.
Yeah.
So funny.
Poor Pip. Or I mean, is it poor Pip? I don't have a reason to hate Pip personally.
Yeah, no.
He just gets shit on for being British. Oh, sorry, French.
Something he's not even.
And, if you haven't caught on that's what pisses Chip off the most.
Yeah.
The French.
Yeah. And I like when they go to China and they cut to the nurse and she's like, shouldn't I be with them? Like, I'm the school nurse. I should be with them. And they're like, nah, you got to stay for this whole week that we're doing for you. Conjoined twin dyslexia week.
Yeah, but the boys win the world title for dodgeball, and then they come to the final rally, the final day of the week-long conjoined twin dyslexia. I need to look at it every single time.
Conjoined twin dyslexia week?
Yeah. See? I can't do it. They come to get celebrated with the hats and all, and fucking Nurse Gollum just says, fuck everybody.
Yeah.
And gives the boys respect.
Yeah. Yep. They no longer care or see the thing on her face, but the adults think. Sheila even says, oh my, what an or no, I think it's the principal. Oh my, what an ungrateful bitch.
Yeah.
And that's how it ends. And that's the end of the episode.
I
dug it.
Just overall really enjoyed this episode.
It was fun. Like I said, there was every scene it had something that I either laughed really hard at or it just at least laughed at. And
yeah, there was a gag in there somewhere, like every scene
that hit.
Yeah.
We watched that right before Jake's wedding, and Nas was watching it. Miranda was doing her hair. Three of us were just laughing the whole time.
Oh, nice.
That was fun. Yeah.
Did you take notes during it?
I did. I pulled up my computer. Yeah. All my notes are on my computer. I'm starting to take notes on my computer for things now.
I actually switched to pen and paper.
Whoa.
To see if I can remember it more, because I'll take it on my computer, but they don't just go into a pile of bullshit that I've written down. So
yeah, there's something about actually writing it. I will say this because this is the first time I've done my notes and I'm doing this with you. I don't know. There's something about when I'm looking what I actually wrote with my handwriting. I know what I mean by it. Like there's a lot of notes in here that I'm like, what was I saying here? What was this about? So I don't know. I think I'm going to try to get better at writing and typing, but who knows? I might just go back to my notebook. But I digress.
I think it's easier because you can just, fucking quickly do a little note to yourself. But you had to go back later and edit it to kind of all right, that's what I want to.
I found it was easier to take notes when I was typing.
Yeah, definitely.
I don't need to look when I type, but I do need to look when I write.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
One little thing that it's episode that I found, at least when I was watching it, there's a few notes here on the trivia that I can go through. But
Trivia watch.
Gerald Roflowski is sitting at the dining room table while Sheila's, going on her soapbox thing, and she has the freaks A to Z book in her hands. She's kind of devising the plan to do this. But Gerald's reading a newspaper, and it zooms in very quickly. He can pretty much make out Jesus on the paper, but that's not the joke that they're going for here. On the right side of the page, so you're looking at it right hand, the back of the page, it just says gays and lesbians. But then on the other side of his left hand, next to Jesus, it says priests and kids.
Yo, I did not catch that at all. That's hysterical.
Yeah, I didn't really enjoy it. I was looking for a title of some couple-y information or legalize something.
Yeah.
But I couldn't find that. But I just enjoy that little parallel that they put out there.
Good eye, man. Good eye.
Yeah, I had to pause it because I'm like, all right, Jesus is there. There's about to be something else.
Right, you do pause a lot. I remember you telling me that when we were going to watch it together.
Yeah, because I looked at the crowd. I'm going to count at 6 butters. At one time, I was looking for the alien, and I'm like, wait, there's 2 butters. And then I look over here. Oh, there's another butters. So I had to count all the butters.
That's funny. I'm going to have to show you this picture that Miranda showed me the other day, and it's an image, and everything in it is Keanu Reeves, and you slowly start to realize how everything in it is Keanu Reeves. That's how I feel about this butters thing.
Is it like a picture that makes, or a lot of Keanu Reeves pictures that makes up a bigger picture?
Yes.
Okay.
Some of them, or they just do something with him in particular. I'll try to find it and see if I can send it to you, because that's how I feel like this butters thing is.
So some trivia, there's 3 calligraphy scrolls hanging in the back of the training gym in China where it contains the phrases, fuck you, mom, bastard, and her bombs. I guess some maybe 3 common phrases in Chinese. It doesn't translate well, but...
No,
yeah.
Yeah, I don't know what that's about.
That's fun. I'm glad that, they're a multicultural show.
Isn't it ever?
Yeah. So Carmen wears 325, Kenny wears 69.
Oh, nice. Yeah, I didn't catch that either.
And
Fuck, man. Damn, I need to pay closer attention. I'm looking for like the jokes that they're saying. You're looking for the jokes that they're showing.
yeah, man, I love the background stuff. They have so much shit going on. Hey, in the episode, Carmen says, my mom says a lot of black people in China, which is a nod to Volcano. My mom, yeah, a lot of black people in Africa.
Definitely caught that.
Even not much else. Nurse Gollum is a reference to Gollum for Lord of the Rings.
Yep, obviously.
Yeah.
Big Lord of the Rings guys. Matt and Trey, perhaps.
Who? Oh, maybe. Yeah, I was going to say us. I'm like, not us.
I mean, they have me for sure. Definitely me, at least. There's one in there.
You like it, I guess.
There's one in there. Yeah. But I mean, I'm ready to hop into the next one then, if that's all you got for this one.
Yeah. Honestly, I was expecting more of a trivia, but that's it. So we are good to move into the frog.
Let's do it.
Hey, Ned, remember that time we got that anonymous tip back in Nam?
You were in Nam? Where were you stationed?
Da nang.
With the log ride?
Yep.
Man, I was in Tet. We had a badass roller coaster, but all we ever wanted was a log ride. We waited and we waited, but they never built us one. I think Danforth wanted a log ride more than anybody, but he had to settle with that lame dinosaur water adventure ride.
That war was hell on everybody.
Good. Okay, bye. Great news, everybody. This week's ratings are through the roof. We're up to 20 people.
Wow, did we get more money?
No, but I do.
This next episode is The Mexican Staring Frog of Southern Sri Lanka. First airing on June 10th, 1998. I think I skipped the part where I said it. It was season 2, episode 6.
Yep.
Goofy.
Yep.
Goofy episode. Silly. More silly than it is goofy. I like how it starts, though. It starts with Jimbo and Ned's television show, where it's just them being them, who they are. Vietnam War vets, as we learn.
Yeah, back in Nam. Did they have a television show before? I mean, I know Jimbo had the shop, but this is the first introduction to like a television show, right? I think so.
So there might have been one other, but it was like real quick. This was the first one that like really focused on it. And I can't remember what they call Pussy Act number 4. I think it was the fact that they can't shout. They're coming right at us. They got to say, thin out their numbers.
Thin out the herd.
Pussy Act number 4 is what they call. What did that?
Oh, fucking, and then thin out the herd. Fucking.
Ooh, do they thin out the herd?
Ned takes up
just a fucking flamethrower. Eviscerates them instantly.
Oh man, love the good throwback. Imagine just trying to find that little scene because I do love it so much. Where are we?
And then Garrett. Then it cuts to the classroom after they do that, because I think they talk about maybe like they're gonna nuke something, they're gonna bomb something later, but then it cuts, and Garrison is talking about Vietnam to the kids. And they ask him if he's ever been in Vietnam. And it goes to this very... what starts to seem like, oh, Garrison was in Nam type of flashback that then becomes just a gay fetish. Is that it just turns really gay. You've heard characters call him gay, but he's never flat out said it. And this was something, and he's still not saying it, but this was the first episode that really showed that he has inner gay thoughts.
Yeah, there's other episodes where he alludes to potential, but this was just like it was a gay fantasy.
For sure. All the way.
I do love the turn. It's just, you're like, oh my God, or you would not, Mr. Garrison.
Yeah.
Just having flashbacks and
because you think it's going to be really serious. You think it's one joke and then it becomes another joke entirely. And and he assigns everybody that they have to talk to a Vietnam War vet and, do a report on Vietnam. And we learn that, at least in the South Park universe, is that Vietnam was something else to the people that were in it. All the people in it know that they were like on rides and it was like a big fair, and some people didn't get the rides they wanted, and that's what made Vietnam hell. Like those conversations that are going on that show that like people really don't know anything about Nam, at least in that universe. Because you think that at first you think Jim and Ned are making it up. Well, they do to an extent, but they think everything
Well, they kamikaze a helicopter.
Right,
into
the part where they
Viet
like use a sword and kill all the Viet Cong. Yeah,
they killed all. They won the war themselves.
but it seems like the rides in the festival stuff, because they talk to other war vets that are like, "Oh, we were here and we had these rides." So like at least that part is true. So that's
we really
kind
learned
of
a
funny.
lot for them.
Yeah. They did lie, however, about. I love that scene, by the way, when it cuts to their past, and Ned is just like this normal kind of tough guy smoking cigarettes. You got to stop, man. Those things will hurt your voice. I'll be fine. Love that.
Man. A classic Cooney moment. And he was good at this like smooth, sultry voice.
Yeah, just a really nice voice. Not even like a goofy South Park guy voice, kind of like a cool guy voice. And he loses it. And he goes to throw the grenade and blows his fucking hand off, and that's why he's missing an arm.
But ultimately, Jimbo and Ned feed the kids that Jimbo white horsed the Viet Cong to death.
And basically said that they
won
Vietnam, even though America didn't.
America got
so that's funny too.
By Vietnam.
Yeah. And they take that back to Mr. Garrison, and he calls bullshit, even though he doesn't even really know.
Yeah, he really called bullshit. Put them in detention, and then the boys devised a plan.
A plan was concocted. You never let people sit together in detention. Mr. Mackey should have known better.
Yeah, really. It's fucking detention.
Ay, ay, ay. Be quiet, I'm quiet.
Okay, yeah. Shh, I'm good. He literally shushed. And
he's giving like a speech about detention, and they're just talking over it. They don't care at all.
Yeah.
The side plot in this one, though, outside of them devising a plan to get back at Jimbo for this lie, is the Jesus show is Jesus and Pals is trying to compete for ratings on television.
So I didn't think this episode had a side plot. I just thought it kind of like went all together.
Oh.
Because Jesus and Joe was depending on the Ned and Jimbo show.
That's fair.
And the boys were fucking with that show.
That's fair. But I mean, there were also seeds that the boys nor Jimbo and them were a part of it. So that's why I see it as a side plot that combines very well.
I didn't vibe with this episode. I thought like the plot was pretty linear, just because it kind of all connected. Where I wanted more out of this episode, and I think that's why I didn't like it as much.
That's fine. Once again, it just had little jokes. I guess not as impactful ones as the last episodes, but still good ones throughout that kept me kind of like into it. I like that the Jesus' agent or whatever she is just calls him Jay.
Oh yeah, I knows that.
He has Bob. They get Bob Denver to come on to be like the reason people should watch, because they got fucking Gilligan on, and they don't have
the worst interview.
Yeah, what's even ask him? It's just like, how was the ride in, or how was the flight in? Good.
Yeah.
Terrible.
Well, and why they got Bob Denver is because Jimbo and Ned Joe is doing so well. They the ratings doubled.
Right. Yeah.
From 6 to 12.
Yeah.
Jesus and Pals were still behind.
Dude, it sounds like they're shit in the dark kind of ratings.
I was literally going to say, I want to know what kind of podcast that sounds like.
That's fine, though. I'm excited about it.
Small victories.
So like she gets all sorts of like crazy action going on the Jesus show, and I just think that's really fun for a while, because like it just has Jesus on and it becomes Maury essentially.
Yeah. Some might even say Jerry Springer.
Yeah, Maury or Jerry Springer, either one, same thing.
Man, I do miss those shows. I miss a good 2-hour delay. Just seeing some bullshit come on.
Yeah,
like, this is the America.
I mean, you gotta think that was like pretty new. Like South Park was riffing on kind of television that was new at the time, that kind of shit.
Yeah.
So that was fun.
Jerry Springer was the mayor of Cincinnati.
Uncut Jesus and Pals. It's got like naked women and just like all sorts of shit. You got that guy in the fucking crowd that's like talking about Michael Jackson. So what if he touched a couple of kids?
Yeah, and I was wondering if they were trying to spoof Michael Jackson with that. If that was supposed to be Michael.
Yeah, hard to say. Seemed like it, but not outright. I don't know why. I just have a note that says, "Old ladies are fat and so are you." I don't know who said that or what context that is in, but it's still funny just to read it. Old ladies are fat and so are you.
You think it's a quote?
It is a quote. I can, yeah.
I mean, it's probably an audience member because, man, I did enjoy those audience members, especially, so the car
Probably,
accident.
yeah.
You know, Jesus was interviewing the two guests where the woman said her husband was trapped in the car for 12 hours. It turns to be a vegetable. And it's an amazing situation. The crowd starts making their comments. I think she needs to get dropped to zero and find herself a hero. They just drool. I love you. Oh my God.
Yeah. The whole crowd just starts Jesus cannot contain it. He's like, whoa, I think you guys are missing the point here.
Dude, that cracked me up.
Yeah, that was pretty funny. It just goes off the rails. Just goes off the rails from there for a couple scenes as they cut back and forth. And in the meanwhile, we got the boys tricking Jimbo and Ned into thinking that they found the titular
Mexican
jumping frog of southern Sri Lanka. Yeah, that. They convinced that they have footage of it by taking just awful stock footage, and they're just like, look at that thing. Oh my God, can you believe it? The cut between like Cartman being dressed as a woman and like dying from looking at it, and then cut to Kenny over, like mooning the camera, and they're just like, we told you.
Well, and during they're showing this on TV, but they couldn't watch the TV.
Right, and they advise everybody else to not look at it either. So nobody essentially should be seeing this.
Yeah.
At least in their eyes. And then they go hunting for it, and Ned swoops around, kind of flanks it, and he, basically scares himself to comatose state.
Yeah, I love it. He just loses his hat, his hair's everywhere, or loses his bandana.
Yeah.
Because I really thought like Jimbo just hit him with a grenade or something, but he just got tranced.
Yeah. They hit the rock that the frog was on, and it flipped it around so that it was looking at him. And as soon as he saw it look at it, he was so freaked out by it that he just froze. And that's when the boys have to fess up to asking or fess up to this being a lie. That they pranked it all along. And this gets them on the Jesus and Pals show.
Yeah, which is just a nice little clusterfuck.
Sure, yeah, it works out. Jesus has made this show to be something like this, and now the frog plot has tied into it, and I thought it sewed together pretty nicely. They're all on the couch, just having casual conversation, and that's when the producer comes up and she's like, "Say this, say that."
Yeah, and Stan just kind of pops in. No, he molested me, and I'm like, that's a little bit there, Stan.
And they just all really say, Cartman's like, he really wants to throw a chair at Ned.
Yeah.
he goes right to it immediately.
And then goes like, I was told to do that too. Even Kyle backs him up.
Yeah. And a fight breaks out. Kenny is ripped apart by just these Jesus show people over this lie.
Yeah, and why is it a pathetic lie? Just, I don't know, I guess for me, this whole episode, just they're baking the frog bake, and then they lose their mind over it, and it's all a battle because they lied about Vietnam, parts of it at least.
Just the end.
Yeah. Just the end.
And we get in their world.
Jerry Springer.
Full on Jerry Springer.
Yeah.
I liked when Ned was in the hospital and Jimbo was reading The Outsiders to him.
I was wondering what that was.
I thought that was a funny, that's what he reads Ned on possibly his deathbed. Because at that point in time, he thinks it's because of the frog. And he's reading him The Outsiders. So that was, I don't know, that was a funny little catch.
What is The Outsiders?
It's this book, I think I want to say from the 80s. It's about like a street gang type of, kids, young kids in a street gang.
Oh, okay.
It's a pretty good book. Pony Boy is one of the characters, and that's who he's reading and like talking about
Gotcha.
in the scene.
That makes more sense because I was trying to think like, was this an actual book he's talking about?
Yeah. It's a real book. Yeah, you should read it.
Nope.
Okay. You could listen to it on Audible, where you can also catch every episode of Nerd Shit in the Dark and South Park in the Dark. Sorry, got to sneak in a plug there. So that was fun. Cut back to the show. All this crazy shit's going on. Jesus tries to get Stan to, apologize for something. And he's just like, no, your producer told us to say that. Like, she made all that up. And Jesus is pissed.
Dude, you know how pissed Jesus was? Jesus was so pissed.
He says, shut the fuck up. When they're all shouting. Like, that's how he gets everybody to stop. Jesus goes, shut the fuck up. And everybody listens.
It's a good Jesus moment.
He snapped, yeah. And he killed. I see it as he sends her to hell, but you're right, he does kill her, I guess.
Yeah.
You can look at it like that.
She got to hell, so I assume we just kill her.
That's fair. I don't know why. I figured he just has the ability to send you there. But I guess you're dead too. How different our minds can look at the same situation. But this is where we get to see that Satan and Saddam are together, like as a couple.
Yeah, I guess last time we saw Saddam, he was dying.
Right, in Canada.
I didn't even think about that.
And now
it just always makes sense to me that they're together. So yeah.
Now you see the origin story. And that is the episode. There's certainly a lot less to discuss about it, but just like with the last one, this is still pretty long. But then again, I got a lot of shit I got to cut from this. I guess just lesser impactful jokes in between bits to talk about, but I still think every bit was funny, and that's something that made me laugh. Yeah,
it was an alright episode. I feel like it could have provided some more little gags and bits.
Not your favorite.
Not my favorite.
You know what's something I think we should do?
Huh.
I think at the end of each season, we should rank. Like on the last episode of the season, we'll like rank.
The season or the episode?
We'll rank the season, like episodes in order of our favorite or least favorite to favorite. Like just rank them.
Yeah.
That could be something fun to do.
I just was looking up what season I was watching today. And I think I already have a favorite season. It was just banger after banger episode. And I was like, damn, I can't wait to get to this one.
It's a little ways off though, isn't it?
Oh, it's quite ways off. And I don't want to let you know too soon. Don't you want to?
That's fair.
I want you to do your own homework. I know how you are where you watch reviews or read things and you create your own opinions about it. So I want to give you my impression first.
Okay.
Just copying my homework.
No, what? What are you talking about? Shut up. God damn you. I don't. I don't know. I probably also have a favorite season, but it's probably one that's still a ways off, but a lot sooner than you'd think. So we'll see. That's the fun thing about this is I feel like I'm reliving a lot of these. A lot of these episodes I have not seen in. I am 31. I could say some of them 20 years, 15 to 20 years. So it's fun.
Yeah, and some of them I'm seeing for the first time.
Right. Were any of these ones you've seen for the first time?
So no, I remember seeing the fetus one. I think I just watched both these back to back probably a week or two ago. So I remember a lot of the plot points. But I remember seeing the fetus one earlier on. Like, what the fuck is going on here? What's the next one?
Yeah, what's the next two actually?
City on the Edge of Forever. Flashback.
That one's fucking interesting. I haven't watched it in a while, but that's one that sticks with me.
I'm sure I've seen it, but
you'll know as soon as you see it as if you have.
There's a chance I might have not seen it.
It might be one of the first episodes I've ever seen.
Oh wow.
Yeah. And then what's the one after that?
Summer Sucks. Oh, is this the giant snake one?
Okay.
Yeah. Oh goody.
This will be fun. I'm looking forward to getting in some more episodes. But that's all I got for this one.
Same.
Cool. No Butters or Alien Watch in this episode?
Not in this one. I don't think we had any Butters in this one. Yeah, wouldn't have. No one in the crowd either, so.
Yeah. Fair enough. Cool beans then. That's the episode. All right, everybody. Well, that's it. Catch us here next Wednesday as we tackle these 2 episodes we were just talking about. And until then, we'll be seeing you. Bye.
Well, screw you guys. I'm going home.